Hey guys, and welcome back to the JTO channel. And this is your match review of Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1. Goals courtesy coming from Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson in a game that we 100% deserve to win. First of all, I'd like to say Newcastle flipping hold that. Oh, they're just an annoying team, you know. They're just a bit nasty. Do you get what I'm saying? Especially with the last 20 minutes. Honestly, I just don't like playing Newcastle for some reason. Even though at home we're really good against them, just in general, for some reason, over the past couple of years, playing Newcastle at Stamford Bridge has felt a bit. I don't know. It's turned into a bit of a nasty affair of a game ever since they've become a good side. Ever since they've been bought by the Saudi PIF state. So yeah, it is what it is. It's always nice to beat Newcastle. We've got them again very soon in the Carabao Cup at their ground. So let's hope we get the win over there, move on to the next round. But today we're here to analyze the game today, the review, the Premier League game. This was a big game today. This was an absolute massive game. If I'd done a review for this game, I would have explained like many reasons why. But to simplify, this was a big game because if we hadn't won today, we probably would have stayed 7th or 6th or so. And if Tottenham had won, we probably could have gone to 8th. And we could have been on the same point as Man United today if they had won. Now, luckily, those two bums, they lost. They lost. So we can forget about them. But in terms of the win, it takes us to 4th as it stands. As I'm recording this video, Arsenal and Liverpool have not played yet. So we are currently 4th in the table on 17 points. We are ahead of where we are above Arsenal on goal difference as well. So that is absolutely massive. This win was massive. Just for the top 4 race, for the fact that we've got to keep up with Aston Villa and them teams there. So yeah, massive win, and overall we deserve the win today. And I thought today's performance was very interesting. I thought it was a good performance. I think there's tactical tweaks we've got to talk about with Maresca, and I think there's player performances that we have to talk about today that really impressed me. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and yeah, let's just get straight into it. We're going to start off with the lineup. And as you can see, I mean, today's lineup was very interesting. Very interesting. We had Robert Sanchez in goal. We had a back four of Malo Gusto, Wesley Fofana coming back from suspension, Levi Cole and Reece James. We had Lavia and Caicedo stay in the pivot together as Enzo Fernandez still holds the bench in the Premier League game. Cole Palmer in the 10. Pedro Neto started on the left today ahead of Jadon Sancho. On the right, we had what's his name? Noni Madueke. And up front, we had Nicholas Jackson. Now, some people were upset that Pedro Neto was starting over Mudryk because Mudryk had put in such a great performance. But for me personally, I was actually fine with that. I was actually fine with Jadon Sancho being dropped in this game and Pedro Neto playing. Not necessarily because Jadon Sancho's in bad form. It's because from a tactical perspective, it made so much sense to play Pedro Neto today. And it's why I wanted him to start last week against Liverpool. And it's why I wanted him to play today against Newcastle, because Newcastle, they play with a high line, and I've said this with Pedro Neto before, and we're gonna get into the goal that we scored, and this proves exactly my point. I don't normally like Pedro Neto on the left, but I would only play him there if it's against teams that play with a high line. You'd start Pedro Neto from the jump if you play against teams that have many men forward and you can hit them on the break, or if they play with high lines. Brighton's one of these teams. Obviously, he didn't start in that game, but he would have been good in that game if he started. Tottenham are another team that when we play them, I'd like him to play on the left. And Newcastle, another team. These guys play with a very high line, which to me doesn't make sense because you've got Fabian Schär and Dan Burn as your two centre-backs. So you ask Eddie Howe that question. Newcastle this season have not even been that good. It looks like it's gone stale under Eddie Howe, and it looks to me that maybe, not saying he could get the sack, but if they don't sort themselves out, he could get the sack. You know, it's not looking good for him this season. Newcastle have not been great this season. Before this game, they had gone like 400 and something minutes without an open play goal, and funnily enough today they score an open play goal. Isak's not had a good season so far. He's started off a bit slow. He gets a goal today. It's like, hey, Chelsea, hey, they'll give you free gifts sometimes, you know. We're still Charity FC from time to time, despite us being a good team again. But anyway, Pedro Neto starting on the left today. I was very, very happy with. I would have actually liked to see Enzo Fernandez start today because with the fact that Newcastle play with a very high line, Enzo Fernandez for me is our best passer. So for me, I would have liked to have seen Enzo in that six today, spraying passes to your Jacksons, your Maduekes, your Pedro Netos, these guys who will run in behind, have got pace and will cause Newcastle a lot of trouble. But maybe Maresca was thinking from a physicality point of view, you can't have Enzo and Palmer in the same midfield, so I understand that. And Newcastle physically are a very good team. Like they've got Joe Linton in there, Bruno Guimaraes, Longstaff. Like that's a very good midfield. And maybe he would have been worried that Enzo off the ball alongside Cole Palmer, it would have been too much work for one of Lavia or Caicedo to do today. So he just needed both of them. So on the ball, I think Enzo would have been good to start today, but off the ball is probably the reason why Maresca just stuck with Lavia and Caicedo, and he was absolutely justified in that decision because Enzo and Lavia and Caicedo today were unreal. Unreal today. Unreal. Unreal. Genuinely, that midfield partnership, mwah, chef's kiss. Wow. And obviously, lastly, Gusto and Reece James stayed as the fullback pairing, which overall I wasn't really happy with. But yeah, that happened. Gusto, played at right back. Reece James started off as a left back, which was a bit surprising to say the least, because you would have thought Cucurella would have come in today. But I think from a tactical perspective, I think he wanted Levi Colwill to be the central defender today, Wesley Fofana to be the right centre back, because if Reece James plays at right back and you have him tuck into the back three, you don't want Wesley Fofana as your centre back, and you don't want Levi Colwill as your left centre back. You're not getting the best out of both of them by doing that. But with Reece James, maybe Maresca's not ready to risk him yet in terms of have him bombing forward on a regular basis, because the role Gusto was doing today, which was inverting, overlapping, putting crosses in, taking shots, we all want Reece James to do that. We all want Reece James to do that, but I think maybe physically, Maresca's not ready for Reece James to do that quite yet. I think it's one of those ones with Reece James where we just want him on the pitch consistently for a while, and then maybe as time goes on, Cucurella might come back in and Reece does the attacking side of things. Because like I said, I don't think Gusto's been in good form this season. I don't think he's had a good start to the season. And today he was all right, but I think attacking wise, he wasn't giving us enough. So I hope with time, Reece James is allowed to play as the right back. Cucurella plays as the left back. Reece James does the inverting. Reece James does the overlapping, the underlapping, taking shots, crosses in, and has that impact because Reece James is by far our best attacking fullback in the team. And I think Cucurella is very important to this system. So I wasn't happy to see Cucurella on the bench today, but from a tactical perspective, I understand why Maresca decided to go with Gusto and Reece James, because he believes Gusto is a better attacking fullback than Cucurella, which makes sense. And Reece James, who's the captain and has to play, we don't want him to be running around too much. So have him stay in the back three and shore up things and be defensively assured. So yeah, that's me 8 minutes talking about the lineup alone, which is absolutely outrageous. But let's actually get to the game now. When we talk about the first goal, this is what I mean by Pedro Neto starting. It was on the counter-attack. Cole Palmer today, by the way. What a player. What a player. I mean, once again, the guy's first touch, his cheeky nutmegs, the passes, the decision-making, his shooting, his IQ, his intelligence. I mean, he's just outrageous. You lot already know about Cole Palmer. And you saw it today. I mean, Newcastle with the high line once again, committing bodies forward. They're leaving themselves susceptible at the back. Cole Palmer picks up the ball. Pedro Neto puts the brakes on. He's off and running. Cole Palmer picks him out. Neto, too much pace for the defender. He's through. His decision making. Sees Jackson. Jackson tapping. Goal. And Pedro Neto on the left, yeah. What I love about Pedro Neto on the left in these sorts of games, against these sorts of teams, is his crossing is out of this world. His pace is out of this world, and his creativity just in general is ridiculous. Yeah? Having Pedro Neto on the left against teams that are going to be susceptible at the back, that play high lines, that have got slow defenders at the back. Sorry, Pedro Neto is one of the last players in this league you want to go up against. If you're one of those teams that likes to proper be on the front foot and you play risky football like Newcastle do, like Tottenham do, like Brighton do, these sorts of teams, you don't want to play Pedro Neto because he will kill you on the break. And when you've got passes like Cole Palmer, combinations like that, Palmer Neto, Palmer the passer, Neto running in behind, causing trouble. It's done, bro. And that's how we get the first goal. And I thought for 10 minutes after that, we were really good, but we didn't get the second goal, which was frustrating me. And Newcastle, against the run of play, they get the goal. You know, I think Bruno Guimaraes gives the ball to Lewis Hall. Lewis Hall puts the cross in. Isak tapping. Poor defending. Where's the defenders? Who's marking Isak? Gusto leaving himself in a 2v1 situation against Newcastle. And yeah, they get the goal. It's a bit frustrating. It's 1-1 at half time. I must say, though, the referee was a disgrace today because if you think Isak is onside for that goal, in which I do think he is, by the way, I think Cole Palmer was onside for his goal, but they gave that offside. Yet the two offside calls were very similar. Yet Palmer's one was offside, but the Isak one's onside. Just bring semi-automated offsides, please, because I'm kind of getting sick and tired of this referees drawing the lines. Because at the end of the day, drawing lines, it's not quite accurate. We're basing it on the eye. You know, just get the system in. I was watching El Clasico last night, and the semi-automated offside was working like a T. Now, to be fair, Kylian Mbappe had a stinker, and he was being offside for fun. But the point was, every offside call that was there yesterday in La Liga last night was bang on. Why? Because they had the semi-automated offside. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's half-time, 1-1. Bit frustrating because Newcastle weren't that good. They struggled to adapt to the tweaks that Maresca had. For example, putting Reece James left back was a surprise, but he wanted Gusto to be the right back, inverting, overlapping, putting crosses into the box, because Gusto inverting and overlapping from the left side last week against Liverpool didn't work as much, and today it was much better. So I think Newcastle were not prepared for the tweaks in terms of how we used Cole Palmer, Pedro Neto, Reece James as the left back, Malo Gusto, stuff like that. You know, having runners in behind like Madueke, Jackson, being on the counter attack. They look disjointed. Newcastle, they look confused, and that's why I was annoyed that we went into half time only 1-1, because I thought we've been all over them. They've been a mess for 30 minutes at least. But they get a goal against the run of play, which was a bit annoying because I thought our performance in the first half was enough to be at least 2-3 goals up. So yeah. Anyway, we go into the second half, and you know what's funny about this? I was literally making some food, and the second half was about to start, yeah. And as I'm getting ready to take my food upstairs and watch the game, I'm literally thinking to myself, oh my days, Chelsea normally start the second half really, really quickly. Like, we scored early against West Ham in the second half. We scored early against Wolves in the second half. We scored early against Panathinaikos in the second half. I think there's another game this season where we scored early in the second half. I'm trying to think which one it was, though. Oof. But yeah, like, there's been games this season where we start really well in the second half, and normally we score pretty early on nowadays. You know, I don't know what Maresca's saying to these guys. So as I'm going upstairs, and I'm like, okay, I gotta hurry up before Chelsea probably score something. As I literally walk into the room, I hear Cole Palmer, bang, and the fucking TV is making loads of noise. He scored. I'm like, oh my days. We've done it again. We've done it again. We've scored early in the second half again. It's actually outrageous. I don't know. This is the big difference between Maresca and Pochettino, right? Last season, the Pochettino, every second half, we started off so badly, so slow, so lethargic. It was like, what is Poch saying to these guys at half time? Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, what's Maresca saying to these guys at half time? Because now these guys are motivated and they're like, let's kill them. Let's get the goal as quickly as possible. And we literally do that in so many of the games we've played this season. It's very, very good to see, man. We get the second goal. I'm pretty sure we won the ball back high up the field. Cole Palmer just drives the ball. He keeps going. No one's closing him down. He's like, all right, I'm Cole Palmer, innit? I'm going to take the shot. He takes the shot. Keeper poor, but at the end of the day, that's Cole Palmer's 7th goal of the season in the Premier League. So credit to him. He gets the goal. Ice cold. Top performance once again from him. And Chelsea just rode their luck. I think for 10 minutes after we scored, I think we could have got a third or fourth. We had so many opportunities, so many openings from Madueke, from Malo Gusto, Nicholas Jackson, all these guys. And I was thinking to myself, oh my God, because Newcastle is just that type of team that they can just get a goal out of nowhere. And then, bro, when I tell you how Isak did not score after rounding Robert Sanchez, outrageous. Reece James at the end, towards the 95th minute, Willock puts a cross in. Reece James heads it just over the bar. Nearly gave away an own goal. Cross comes in. Robert Sanchez misses it. Reece James clears it off the line. And you think to yourself, oh my days. All those moments Newcastle had. It's like, that's why 2-1 for me was not comfortable at all. Because it's like, sometimes maybe this team defensively, we can't fully trust this team defensively. They're not keeping many clean sheets. They're conceding a goal in every game. So it's like, you never know. Newcastle could just get a goal out of nowhere. They have the quality to do so with Isak and players like that. But luckily, Chelsea dug out. They fought. And we got the win in the end. And credit to the boys. I think the performers today who played well, I think Reece James was outstanding left back. I think not just from a defensive point of view, but I think him playing that left centre back role just allowed him to sort of be the distributor today. Get on the ball and just ping passes out wide to Madueke, Nicholas Jackson in behind for fun, bro. Top performance from Reece James today. Lavia and Caicedo, they were just winning everything in that. All the second balls, aerially, their ground draws, absolutely brilliant today. Those two. Not just on the ball, but mainly off the ball. Off the ball. And that's why Enzo didn't play today. Because off the ball, I think Enzo can give you that, but he can't give you it as much as those two can. And I think those two as a partnership, brilliant. Fantastic performances from both of them. Fantastic performance from Cole Palmer. Pedro Neto, fantastic performance. Creativity, pacing behind. The assist, brilliant. Nicholas Jackson got his goal today. I thought his hold-up play. I thought in situations where I thought, oh, he's going to lose the ball here. He just manages to always compose himself in such awkward situations and get out of tight space and dribble with the ball, hold it up, pass it, link up the play, make runs in behind. You know, he's such a good striker, man, Nicholas Jackson. So, top performance from him. Madueke, not a good performance today, but the thing with Madueke that I keep seeing is it doesn't get to him. He's always going to keep trying. He's always going to want the ball. He's always going to continue taking on players. Go on the inside, go on the outside, use his right foot, cross the ball in, take shots. You know, Madueke, I like the effort he gives. It's just quality and performance-wise, it's not good enough. But in terms of effort and continuously trying and continuously wanting the ball, I like that from him. So, yeah. Gusto today, again, not great. I hope as time goes on, Reece James can have enough fitness and trust in himself, and Maresca has trust in him to sort of make an impact for us going forward, so we can see Cucurella at left back. Because I think for the balance of the team, our best back four for me is Reece James, Fofana, Cole, and Cucurella. I really hope we see that back four next week against Manchester United, because I think that back four could do wonders from it. And I think tactically, there's so many things you could do with that back four. So, yeah, Gusto for me wasn't great today. Fofana was not great for me today either. Levi Colwill today was good. Another good performance from him on the ball, off the ball, aggressive as per. And Robert Sanchez, the guy stinks, man. The guy absolutely stinks. On the ball, this guy absolutely stinks, bro. Stinks, bro. Jorgensen needs to start playing in the Premier League soon. I don't know how long Maresca's going to persist with Sanchez, but Jorgensen's going to play in the Carabao Cup. And if I see a good performance from him in that game, just in terms of the ball distribution, that's enough for me to play him against Man United. Sanchez, I just get too nervous. Not good enough again on the ball today. I think he's probably the biggest negative for me today. You know, I just think there's going to be a game, guys, where he solely costs us. And I really hope, for his sake, it's not a Manchester United or an Arsenal. Because those are our next two Premier League fixtures. So, yeah, let's see what happens. But, yeah, that's been your review, guys. Chelsea beat Newcastle 2-1. Well-deserved win. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. And I'll see you guys whenever I see you guys. In a bit, people. Peace. Come on, Chelsea.